strong, putting together a string of 6- and 7-point waves that proved to be devastating to Wilson.
Well, I noticed before the heat it was pretty inconsistent, and the highest scoring waves are definitely the biggest ones right now. And they're not really closing out, so you wait for the biggest ones, and that's where you get the highest scores, and that's just what I did.
So filling the first vacancy in semifinal number 1 is America's Kelly Slater. Quarterfinal number 2 saw world champion Damien Hardman against Brazilian Fabio Gouveia, whose smooth, snappy style was impressive, but no match for the performance of Hardman, who racked up the highest single heat score of the contest. He has the momentum, but will it be enough to beat Slater in semifinal number 1?
Yeah, well, he's a real hard guy to beat. You know, he can make a 5-point wave into an 8. So, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and wait for the good ones and hopefully lift my game, try and surf better.
So Damien Hardman, surfing in his home waters of Narrabeen, will now go on to try for his second Coke Classic victory. Only one thing stands in his way: Kelly Slater. In quarterfinal number 3, another Brazilian, Flavio Paderatz, who finished with a 27th place at Bells, surfed his way to an equal 5th here at the Surf Classic by defeating the likes of Tom Carroll. But today he would fall to Australian Dave McCauley by just over 1 point. Wave selection was the key.
Oh, well, against Flavio, he's a really good surfer, you know, and I thought I had to be pretty selective with wave choice. So I was just trying to be patient and wait for the good ones.
Dave McCauley edges out Flavio Paderatz to advance to semifinal number 2, where only 1 spot remains and 2 hot young Australians to compete for it. Even after catching the maximum 10 waves in his heat, Jake Spooner only finished with a total of 20.17 points, while local boy Shane Herring maximized his wave riding ability. But was he happy with his performance?
Not really. The waves were really bad out there. I was just pretty relaxed, and Jake fell off on a lot of waves, so I was pretty happy.
Our 4th semifinalist is Shane Herring, who will meet Dave McCauley in semifinal 2, both just 1 heat away from the all-important final. There's still 2 other guys vying for a spot in the final: the defending world champion Damien Hardman and second-year pro Kelly Slater of Cocoa Beach, Florida. The hometown crowd may have been in Damien's corner, but that didn't stop Kelly from focusing in on the final and not looking back. He scored 2 7-point waves right away and forced Damien into a catch-up situation early. After putting a 30-point-plus heat under his belt in the quarters, Damien had created an act that would be too hard to follow. But in his fans' eyes, he's still the world champion.
Well, that's the thing. It's, you know, Damien's world champion, and this is his home beach. And it's kind of his home crowd, so the momentum is usually with you at that point. And it's just a good feeling to be able to make the finals of the biggest contest of the year.
So Slater is on his way to his first ASP final by upsetting 2-time world champion Damien Hardman. For Damien, the world title has been a goal since age 7.
I don't know. I just went through the ranks in the amateurs in Australia. I competed in the North Narrabeen Board Riders and then in the amateur titles and just built my way up. While I was going through school, and then I finished high school, and I had the opportunity to do the world tour after I won the world amateur title in California, the junior one that is, and I thought I'd give it a go for a year, and I haven't looked back since.
So it's Kelly Slater of the United States knocking off world champion Damien Hardman.
Well, you know, Todd, Australia has produced more world surfing champions than all the other countries combined.
This is true, PET, and it's a string that started with yourself back in